CQ, Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming states.
Kilo Zulu 2 India.
Kilo Zulu 2 India, 59 Maine.
Okay, you're about 50 over here in South Jersey. Have fun.
Thanks for the 50 over. Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe. Any stations in Europe? Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray. Beaming Europe. Europe. Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, states. This is
Whiskey,
fun.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Beaming Europe.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, states.
Germany, Sugar, go ahead. Germany, Sugar, make your call. Okay, Italy, Kilo 1, Japan, Juliet, Golf, Sugar, 5 and 9. Okay, Italy, Kilo 1, Japan, Germany, Sugar, thanks, 73. QRZ, Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
CQ, CQ, Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe. Something Romeo again. Station ending in Romeo, Romeo. Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, QRZ Europe.
CQ, CQ, Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe. Oscar radio again.
You see that flipping there? It's a little weird niggly bug I have on my end.
Romeo again.
It's not on Ray's end, which is interesting. But we're getting some kinks worked out here for the
radio,
contest.
7 Oscar radio, your call. Echo Alpha 7, Oscar radio, 5-9 in the state of Maine.
We got spotted. Look at that.
Okay, 73,
Oh, look at all our
thanks.
spots.
QRZ.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Is something ending Zulu? Go ahead, Connor.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe. Okay,
I
the
just know
Foxtrot
he's
4
loud.
again.
So what's going on here is
Foxtrot
I'm beaming
4
towards
again.
USA in Eastport, Maine, and Ray is
QRZ
beaming
Europe,
towards
Whiskey,
Europe
Whiskey
in
1 X-ray.
Jonesport, Maine, on the same frequency. Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
CQ, Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, stateside.
The Europe call, the station in Europe again.
It's pretty fun, not gonna lie.
Foxtrot 4, Hotel Sugar Queen, 5-9 Maine. Go ahead, Connor, call CQ while you translate.
Thank you. CQ, Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Okay, so thanks for the call, 73. Take care. QRZ Europe, Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Not Europe.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, stateside.
You're not Europe.
Okay, the 3 Hotel again. Okay, Echo Alpha 3, Hotel Delta Zulu, 5-9 Maine.
That guy say not Europe. I think he
Okay,
might be
Doc here,
confused.
thanks, 73. QRZ Europe, Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
The QRZ states, Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. Connor, call a few CQs here. I'm just going to do some commentary.
All right, CQ, CQ, states. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. Let's see if we can jump up. CQ, CQ, stateside. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ, 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 whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ, 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 whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ stateside, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Kilo Echo 4, Yankee Oscar Golf.
Kilo Echo 4, Yankee Oscar Golf, 5 and 9 Maine.
North Carolina.
Thank you. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ stateside, 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 whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ, CQ states, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Kilo 5, Japan, Kilo Golf.
Kilo 5, Japan, Kilo Golf, 59 Maine.
QSL with 59, you are 5-9 plus here into Dallas, Texas. Name is Jerry. Thank you.
Thank you, 73. This is whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming stateside.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. Beaming Europe, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe. Any stations in Europe, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. Echo Alpha 1 Kilo, 59 Maine. 73, thanks. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Willy, Willy, 1 X-ray, CQ.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming Europe. Anybody in Europe? Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, anyone stateside.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming Europe. Anybody in Europe? Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, states. Again. Again. Oops. Again, your call again. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Alpha Kilo 7, Radio Oscar 59. Thank you. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Alpha Delta 7 Papa Lima.
Alpha Delta 7, Papa Lima. Hi, Chris, 59 Maine.
59 Colorado. Colorado, good look, brother.
Thank you for Meeker. QRZ, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, states. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, stateside.
I can't transfer.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, stateside. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
CQ, CQ, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. Tango, India. Tango, India 2, Sierra Foxtrot Charlie, 59 Maine. QSL, Sierra Oscar Charlie, you're 59, 59, Roger.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, deeming Europe, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Thank you, 73, QRZ, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Charlie Oscar 1. Charlie Oscar 1, November Bravo, 59.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
QSL, thank you, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, deeming Europe. Echo Alpha 3, Hotel Japan Bravo, 59 Maine.
These are working pretty well. Not the greatest, but it's doing good so far. We're kind of not used to this. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, CQ states.
Echo Alpha 1, Golf United Bravo, 59 Maine. Echo Alpha 1, Golf United Bravo, 59 Maine. Golf Italy Bravo, 59 Maine. QSL. 73, thanks. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, deeming Europe. You are dead.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
CQ states, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Sugar Victor 4, Sugar Victor 4.
I can kind of get Ray to do the chicken thing and kind of, or the sheep thing. Follow the leader. If I say something, he'll say the same thing. CQ states, whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Oh, he didn't do it that time.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, deeming Europe.
Whiskey 3, whiskey 3. Hey, how's it going? Whiskey 3, Tango Uniform Papa, 59 Maine. Yeah, QSL, Tango Uniform Bravo, 59 Maine.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Thank you. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey Victor 4, Papa.
Whiskey Victor 4. Oh, Whiskey Victor 4 Papa, how's it going? 59 Maine.
59 Tennessee, about 25 dB difference between y'all.
Really, 25 dB. Thanks for the call, Ron.
73. Yeah, well, I'm beaming Europe and Connor's beaming stateside. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, CQ states.
Yeah, there's only 30 dBs difference, Ray.
Who's that?
W8ALP, how you doing?
Wow, look at that signal.
Yeah, we're testing out diverse transmitting here between two stations inside the logger here. You're sounding great, 20 over. You're in Michigan, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're S9 and the other station's 30 over.
Yeah, you're 38 over. You're hitting 38 over S9 here.
Yeah, I finally got the amplifier working on 40. It's the 3 elements, so I'll let you carry on, but I'd say hello.
Yeah, Roger. Looking forward to working with that project later this year. QSL?
Roger.
Okay, see ya. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey, whiskey, 1 X-ray, stateside.
The Italy Kilo station. Italy Kilo?
Wish I could hear what he was hearing, but that would kind of defeat the purpose.
Okay, it's only Kilo 8, it's only Nancy Radio 59 Maine.
Look at all our spots.
Call CQ, Connor.
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, CQ.
Okay, Roger, thanks. 73, thanks for calling in. Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, you're up.
CQ states, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray.
The Charlie Tango, the station Charlie Tango. Charlie Tango 7, Alpha Oscar Juliet, 59 Maine.
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray states.
Thank you, 73, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, you're up.
CQ United States, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming states.
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Papa Lima. Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
I'll turn a little north here.
Any stations in Europe? I'm looking for stations in Europe. Whiskey,
That didn't
Whiskey,
go
1 X-ray.
anywhere. Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming stateside.
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey, Whiskey.
For a few moments, Connor.
Do that again?
I said call CQ for a few moments. I'm going to do some commentary.
Alrighty, have fun. CQ states, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming states. CQ stateside, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ stateside, this is Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ states, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ stateside, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. Oops. CQ stateside, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ stateside, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. Come on. CQ stateside, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ stateside, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ states, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ states, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming U.S. CQ states, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. CQ stateside, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, you're up.
QMR?
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, you're up.
QMR, your call? Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, you're up.
Kilo Juliet 4, Quebec Mike Radio, 59 Maine. Kilo Juliet 4, Quebec Mike Radio, 59 Maine. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray.
QRZ Europe, Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. Anybody in Europe? Anybody in Europe? Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, beaming states.
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray. This is Kilo India, Zero Alpha Delta. You're having problems with your audio.
Say that again?
Whiskey, Whiskey, 1 X-ray, Europe.
This thing, or got an issue with your audio, or messing your signal.
Not sure. There's a problem with my audio. Thanks for the report. There's 2 different people on this frequency, so that could be the confusion. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Yeah, Connor, when you first came in here, your audio was perfect. Something got distorted along the way. Maybe back it off a little bit, turn back your in audio or something. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I just backed it down here. Is this any better?
Yeah. Much better.
Okay, I must have bumped my mixer here at some point during the run.
Yeah. Now it's perfect. Whiskey 1 X-ray. You're up. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1
Interesting.
X-ray.
I bumped
You're up.
my-
You are good.
Kilo Alpha 7. Thank you, KA7TXS 59 Maine.
Frequencies in use, Echo Alpha 5. QRZ Europe. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Thank you, Whiskey 1 X-ray stateside.
Whiskey 1 X-ray Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray states.
Whiskey 1 X-ray beaming Europe.
CQ states Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Anybody in Europe? Whiskey 1 X-ray. Beaming Europe. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Let's see if he hears anybody.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray beaming Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray stateside QRZ.
Whiskey 1 X-ray Europe.
Again. November 1 Charlie Foxtrot Bravo 59 Maine.
You're 59 in Massachusetts, Mike Alpha.
Thank you, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray beaming Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray beaming states.
Whiskey 1 X-ray beaming Europe.
A Yankee Whiskey.
Alpha.
Thank you, Whiskey 7 Fox Yankee Whiskey 59 Maine QRZ.
Whiskey 1 X-ray beaming Europe. Anybody in Europe?
Bravo. Bravo.
Kilo Bravo 8 Delta X-ray.
Kilo Bravo 8 Delta X-ray 59 Maine.
Whiskey 1 X-ray Europe.
Thank you, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 8 November Sierra.
Whiskey 8 November Sierra 59 Maine.
59 Michigan.
Thank you, Whiskey 1 X-ray stateside.
Kilo India 5 Kilo Echo.
Kilo India 5 Kilo Echo 59 Maine.
Yes, sir. 5-9 in Paris, Texas. Thank you.
Thank you, WW1X.
Kilo Alpha 9 Oscar Zulu Papa.
Kilo Alpha 9 Oscar Zulu Papa 59 Maine.
59 Northwest Iowa, Italy.
Thanks, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray beaming Europe.
Kilo Mike 4 Echo Bravo Alpha 59 Maine. Kilo Mike 4 Echo Bravo Alpha. Oop. What the hell?
Okay, the Echo Alpha 5.
Kilo Mike 4.
Kilo Mike 4, Victor Bravo Alpha.
Victor Bravo Alpha 59 Maine.
Roger.
Echo
Got
Alpha
20
5,
over down here in
Bravo
North
59
Carolina.
Maine.
Sound good.
Thank you, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 9 Delta Julia Papa.
Oh,
Whiskey 1 X-ray Europe.
Whiskey 9 Delta Juliet Papa 59 Maine. This is good.
I got you 5-9 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Thank you, Whiskey 1 X-ray. What the crap?
Whiskey 1 X-ray Europe.
Stateside, Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray beaming Europe.
Kilo Alpha 9. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Stateside.
Whiskey 1 X-ray
Charlie Alpha Romeo.
Whiskey 8 Charlie Alpha Kilo 8 Charlie Alpha Radio 59 Maine. Must have been W8.
Roger. You are 59 Michigan. Name is Ralph Romeo Alpha Lima. Papa Hotel. 73 K8CAR. Take care.
Whiskey 1 X-ray Europe.
73 Whiskey 1 X-ray States.
Whiskey 1 X-ray Europe.
Again.
Beaming Europe. Anybody in Europe? Wake up, Europe. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey
November 4.
November 4, Charlie November.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
November 4, Charlie November, 59 Maine.
59 Georgia.
Thank you.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Kilo 5.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Kilo 5, Zulu Victor, 59 Maine.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Thank you. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
India Echo.
Kilo Alpha 1 India Echo.
Kilo Alpha 1 India Echo, 59 Maine.
You're 5-7 Florida.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray Europe, 5 and 3 at the same time. It's a little disconcerting, but it works, I guess.
Yeah, QSL. Thanks for the call. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe. Anybody in Europe?
Foxtrot, November, India.
Kilo November 4, Fox November India, 59 Maine.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
North Carolina.
Thank you. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Kilo 5 Bravo.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Oklahoma.
Kilo 5 Bravo Foxtrot, 59 Maine. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
I'll let him see if he can work someone.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Anybody in Europe? Europe. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Wake up those Europeans. I'll take a standby. Call CQ.
CQ Europe. Anybody in Europe? Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Beaming Europe.
Let's see if he can drum up some business
Whiskey
from
1
Europeans.
X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Beaming Europe. You are dead.
Oh, that's interesting. It's defaulting my processor to
Anybody in
DX.
Europe? Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Beaming Europe. Yeah, you can keep going, Connor. I'll work somebody.
Alrighty. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray. States.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Europe.
Kilo 4. I'm sorry, you're too weak. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Stateside. CQ States. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray. CQ Stateside. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Washington 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Beaming Europe.
CQ Stateside. Willy 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Europe.
Alpha Bravo 3 Delta 59 Maine. Alpha Bravo 3 Delta 59 Maine. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Beaming Europe. Okay, finally, Charlie Tango 2, Hotel United,
I heard him
roaming
too.
59 Maine.
He must be so loud.
Okay, thanks. Yes, you can put me on a DX cluster, appreciate it. 73, Charlie Tango 2, Hotel United, thanks.
Wow, he was loud off the back. Whiskey 1 X-ray. States.
73, thanks. You are dead, Europe. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Stateside.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. States.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey 8 Whiskey Lima Kilo 59 Maine.
59 Ohio, DAW.
Thank you. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Stateside. My internet's kind of
Whiskey 1 X-ray,
here.
beaming Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Stateside. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Willy 1 X-ray. Stateside. Papa Mike. 8 Golf.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Golf Papa Mike. Whiskey Alpha. Kilo Alpha 8 Golf Papa Mike 59 Maine.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Thank you. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 5 Delta Mike Charlie.
Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 5 Delta Mike Charlie 59 Maine. Thank you. Delta Sugar Sugar. Go ahead.
Kilo, kilo, forward, Delta, sugar, sugar.
Good Lord. Can't wait his turn.
You're 5-9.
Kilo Kilo 4 Delta Sierra Sierra 59 Maine.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Thank you. Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray beaming stateside.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe. Europe.
Alpha Alpha
Whiskey 1 X.
Alpha Alpha 4 Whiskey 59 Maine.
Yeah, 5-9.
Thank you. Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Again.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray states.
The Goff station in England. The Goff station. Go ahead. The Goff 4. The Goff 4 again. Okay, Lee. Golf 6, Mike November Delta 5 and 9. Okay, Lee, thanks. Golf 6, Mike November Delta 5 and 9. 7-3, bye-bye.
Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray stateside.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe. Stations in Europe. Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray beaming states.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe. Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe. Any stations in Europe? Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray. Willy Willy 1 X-ray beaming states.
Kilo, Mike 4, Alpha, Charlie.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Kilo Mike 4 Alpha Charlie 59 Maine.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Thank you. Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray stateside.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
CQ states. Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray. Willy Willy 1 X-ray stateside.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Whiskey India 9 Quebec 59 Maine.
59 Indiana.
Thank you.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray states.
Whiskey, Whiskey 1 X-ray, beaming Europe.
Hey Ray, want to try 80? I bet you'll get a rate.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. 80's going to be funny because how are we going to run Europe and stateside at the same time in the DX window?
Yeah, that's true. Well, the stateside goes in the DX window.
I mean, it's pretty late. I think the Europeans are sleeping, but this was a good test. It's actually fantastic. Why don't you give a long transmission? I just want to show a quick presentation of how I'm locked out when you're transmitting. Maybe count to 10 or something.
Mike Delta Oscar.
All right, yeah, I've made quite a few demonstrations here on my stream on accident, keying up and having it to click me off. But yeah, it's working pretty good. I'm quite happy. I'm not sure if it would be better for us to be on different frequencies during the contest, just because I can hear you and at sometimes QRM stations back and forth. So if the band is really open and we can hear each other really well, it might cause some interference. So it might be better to run on two separate frequencies, like right next to each other. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, you can't run two frequencies against the rules. So what we could do is, I mean, like I said, when we first started off, you couldn't hear me in Summit. We could actually do this. You're transmitting from Summit, I'm transmitting here. But you were working quite a number of guys when I was still CQing, so that worked out pretty well. Yeah,
it did. A lot of them are loud, and that's what's helpful is there's no noise beaming this direction in Eastport, so everybody is loud, and you're pretty down. You're S9, but everybody else was above, so it was working out. Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray. This is Whiskey Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Yeah, any stations in Europe? Whiskey 1 X-ray. Okay, yeah, Connor, this was a great presentation. So I think this is going to work out really, really well with the lockout here. So let me just tell everybody here what's going on here. Just stand by 1 second. You can continue stateside there. Just going to acknowledge a few people here, okay?
Alrighty, I'll continue with my states. Whiskey, 1 X-ray.
W9 Mike Delta Oscar.
Mike Delta Oscar.
W9 Mike Delta Oscar, you're 5'9" in Indiana. Go ahead.
Whiskey 9 Mike Delta Oscar, you're 5 and 9 in Maine.
Thanks very much. 20 watts here.
Thank you. 1290, 73. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Kilo November 4, Yankee Alpha Uniform.
Kilo November 4 Yankee Alpha Uniform, 5 and 9 Maine.
Roger, you're 5'9" plus 20, Tennessee, Tango November.
Thanks for Tennessee. This is Whiskey 1 X-ray. CQ stateside from Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray. CQ stateside. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey X-ray, K5TK, Kilo 5 Papa Kilo.
Kilo 5 Papa Kilo, 5-9 Maine. That's where I heard the Windows XP startup.
Yeah, sounded real good. Go ahead.
Thank you, 73. This is Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Kilo Fox 5, Victor Mike.
Kilo Fox 5 Victor Mike, 5-9 Maine.
5'9" in Texas, thanks.
Thank you, QRZ.
November 4, Tango Bravo.
November 4 Tango Bravo 5-9 Maine.
5'1" South Carolina, thank you, 73.
Thank you. This is Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Kilo 4 Hotel Whiskey Lima.
Kilo 4 Hotel Whiskey Lima, 5-9 Maine.
59 South Carolina, good evening.
Thank you, WW1X. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Kilo 8 Radio.
Kilo 8 Radio, 5-9 Maine.
59 Ohio, thank you.
Thanks. Whiskey 1 X-ray, states. Stateside, Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey Bravo 0, Mike Oscar Alpha.
Whiskey Bravo 0, Mike Oscar Alpha, 5-9 Maine.
69, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Thanks,
W08.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, thanks. Stateside, Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray, states. CQ states, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Kilo Papa 4 Lima.
Kilo Papa 4 Lima, 5-9 Maine. Thank you, 73. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, deeming Europe. Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, states.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray, deeming Europe. The Alpha Mike Bravo again.
Oh.
Hotel Italy 7, Alpha Mike Bravo, 5 and 9. You probably hear him better, Connor. Go ahead.
Hotel India 7, Alpha Mike Bravo, 59. Thank you.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray, CQ states.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, deeming Europe. Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Is that a European or a stateside QRMing us?
No, there's no European. I'd be hearing him really well. Go ahead, Connor.
Alrighty. Whiskey 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, deeming Europe. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Hey, anybody up in Europe? Is everybody sleeping in Europe? Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray, deeming Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray, Europe.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. Whiskey 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, deeming Europe.
Alpha.
Anybody in Europe? Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, stateside.
Whiskey 1 X-ray, deeming Europe.
CQ states, Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Yeah, Connor, I think everybody's asleep in Europe. It's 1
it's working great. I've put it to the test quite a few times already. Sometimes I accidentally lay on the key, and sometimes I start trying to talk before you're done, and it saves me. But I think this was a great test.
Yeah, I was just doing a bunch of transmitting while you were just transmitting there, and it said band is locked out, so it's working. I mean, this is as good as a lockout can get. I can't transmit at all while you're transmitting, Ed.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, even though there's a U.S. station 1 kilohertz away from us. A couple times I kicked out the amplifier. I'm gonna have to investigate that. Anyway, yeah, it's a marvel that this was finished. Shoot, a couple of days. It's quite spectacular.
Yeah, what I noticed is your audio starts off really good, and then it gets distorted. So I don't know if your computer's changing audio settings, Ed.
Yeah, I hear you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Whiskey, 1 X-ray. There we go. I backed it off quite a bit. How's that?
Yeah, that's much better. How's my audio sound, Ed?
Yeah, it sounds like you.
Okay, fantastic. Let me try one more try towards Europe. Anybody in Europe? Whiskey 1 X-ray? All right, Connor. Good test. Appreciate it. And this is a good start. Maybe if you're I got Ella tomorrow. Nobody can watch Ella tomorrow, so I'm the lucky one, which I'm not again. But if we can do this test tomorrow, if I get Ella to take the map or something, we can try it on 20 meters, right?
Oh yeah, that'll be good. 20 meters. I am free tomorrow. Well, I'll be building my antenna tomorrow. And then cleaning up the garage and fixing shelves before, the kingdom comes crashing down. But just send me a text or something, and I'll run up to the shack. I have no problems.
Yeah, I think a good test would be like around 1 o'clock our time. I'll be in Europe, and you can be stateside, or vice versa, doesn't matter. And we can test it out because we can really get a nice run between the Europeans and the stateside. Even though we probably worked about 50 guys here in 30 minutes, which was pretty impressive. Just testing here. Okay, fantastic, Connor. Thanks. This is Whiskey 1 X-ray 73.
Yeah. Okay, Ray. Just please no morning DX. 1 o'clock is fine. No morning DX, please. Every day this week it feels I've woken up, looked at my phone, and it says Remote Ham Radio was live 2 hours ago.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I'm an early bird. I've been an early bird my whole life, so I feel like I'm wasting my life if I sleep past 7 a.m. and that's late for me. All right, 7-3, take care. Whiskey 1 X-ray, now QRT.
Alrighty, 73, Ray. I'm gonna slide up the band and say a quick hello to my friend N6MJ. Swinging the antenna around to it's ZF2MJ is on 138. 73, Whiskey 1 X-ray. This is Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Okay, 73, take care. Bye-bye.
One of those trips we talk about for a really long time. So, all right, man. 73, Zulu Fox 2, Mike Japan.
Whiskey 1 X-ray.
Whiskey 1 X-ray. How you doing, Connor? You're 5 and 9.
Wow, you know my name. You're 5 and 9 in Maine. Good to hear you. Very loud.
Yeah, you're easily 20 over, no problem. I was listening to you a little bit earlier on the Facebook Live thing with Ray there. So you were where are you? Let me see here. I'm trying to get it straight. You were at Eastport operating. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm in Eastport. I'm operating Eastport to 3L at 120 feet. He's in Jonesport using the 4L at 175.
Okay, very cool, very cool. I think that distributed multi thing for WPX is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a traditional multi at Tim's place at the ND7K. It's going to be a bunch of his operators like KL9A, myself, Marty, and stuff like that. So looking forward to that. Hey, 73, catch you later. WW1X from ZF2MJ.
Yeah, I hear you. I got to get myself. I got to fall into the arms of someone at ZF1A there. Anyway, 73. I don't think CQ realized what they did unleashing this monster of multi distributed. ZF2MJ 73 WW1X.
All right, man. 73 Zulu Fox 2 Mike Japan. Keyword is that.
Well, 73 OMs and YLs. This is W4IPC. And we just finished testing dueling CQs on the same frequency from 2 locations, beaming 2 different directions. This is